YouTube family wagwan. Don't see the settings. I drive and speak. May I listen some analysis on a TV station this morning. A 15-year-old schoolgirl and her taxi driver boyfriend. Both of them get charged for the murder of a 25-year-old man who was also intimately involved with the 15-year-old schoolgirl. The schoolgirl, based on the reports, on the police theory, is that she was the one who orchestrated the crime. She and the taxi driver will get charged, 28-year-old. She and him living in the same community. And the other man when she married live in another community. So the plot was she lured the guy will live in the other community to come check her up a fair community where the taxi man come from as well. When the man come up there now come look for her now and I walk on the road where she live on. Two man or some man rush him inclusive of the taxi man, grab him and shot him up and kill him. Now it take me back to a video we do on my channel a minute back. When you remember some viral videos did come out with some youth assault one little schoolgirl, sexually assault her and beat her up and box her up. And then another one did come out probably in the same week when some other youth box up an ex schoolboy, box him up and beat him up. And me did come on the video and say some of them youth were not talk about our children and them not be punished. Them forget punished for save them life, you know, and for save other people from them, you know. I mean, the advocate said some of them figure a big man prison. Remember, Dan Jackson did run out and take me hand on it. But me thought going down the road there again. A 15-year-old schoolgirl was skillful enough, conniving enough, wicked enough to manipulate the two men which she did with, you know. One of them to him death, and the next one now I got prison for the man dead. And everybody had tried to convince me. Somebody had 15 and 16 and 17. You know what them do when it comes to right and wrong? You know what them do when it comes to evil? Me no bite people. Me no bite. And yes, we are going to always hear the argument now, say, where are the adults in the room? Where were the adults in the room? Where were our parents? Why a 28-year-old man? Why was he not able to convince us? Look, are you mad? What you want to do? A foolishness that you do, that make no sense. Think about what you do and sober up and go to school. Why the man never, you know, play the role of the adult in the room? We are going to hear that, you know. And she probably will get away with it too, you know. When she go to court, she probably will get away. The judge probably will go look at her and say, you know, say the man should do better. You don't know better and set her free. This is how we tend to look at these things in Jamaica. But she was skillful enough and evil enough. I'm sure her parents never teach her to do it. I know her father never teach her to do that and her mother never teach her to do that. But she can conjure up the skill level to set up the man's life and make the other man when she did murder the man. Yeah, and we're going to hear say she's a juvenile. And juvenile are not responsible for their actions. And they don't know right from wrong. And cruelty does not solve the problem. Don't tell me something now. What about the man who get murdered? What about for him justice? Eh? A juvenile murder him get? Juvenile murder different from adult murder to the man and the family? What don't tell me say? And don't tell me say me I think too barbaric. Jamaica is already barbaric. Me I think about ways to get rid of some of the barbarism in Jamaica. What a wicked act, people. And some man a fool to you, know, man. Some man a real girl clown to you, know. You're a big man. You're a big man. I make a little 15-year-old girl set you up like that. Me not talk the man where dead, you know. Me talk the man where commit the murder. And I go to prison for it now. You make a little 15-year-old girl set you up like that. And you're a big man. You figure a prison a million times, you know. To you fool, you know. The man. You see the man we're walking, I'm dead now. Him fool, you know. But him not as fool as the other man. I remember saying, I must say I work off a thing named love. But that thing they might work out fine now. And face say, boy, you don't know. They might look for him girls have to come check him. So I look for her. Which in and of itself, you know. But you can understand how him get tricked and deceived this one. But he's the other idiot now. We make a little girl manipulate him. If you gonna murder the next man over she. But my main problem, people, is I don't know how we're gonna drive that conversation. But me not buy that something I say some of these underage kids don't know what they do. And they don't know right from wrong. So they are not to be punished. The way how they are punished, people commit them kind of gruesome murder. Yeah. Me have a problem with that. So you must think rehabilitation. How you rehabilitate the man who dead? What you gonna tell the man family say? And the man pay. By the way, you realize that them two man here, but they there with the woman here. The two of them that commit crime too, you know. Because the girl is underage, you know. The age of consent in Jamaica is 16, you know. So that too. So basically one criminal kill the next criminal too, you know. Then again, me don't know she tell the man them such a 15. Them girls have a way when them are 15, them not tell us them are 15, you know. Them are tell the man them say them are 18 and 19. And obviously, this girl are one of them girls where she mature beyond her years. Based on the kind of plot where she execute from start to finish. How we deal with these young monsters in our community? Because that's what they are, you know. Don't make nobody with them bleeding heart come tell us because them young, them are no monster. Them are monster. A murder, them are murder people. Eh? Same like the little young monster them where they rape off the little girl over Portmore. And box her up. And the other one them where they box up the other little youth. I will see videos that go around all over the place. But this one now reached a different level now. So even if the other one them can rehabilitate and save. A 15-year-old will plot the murder of a 25-year-old. I was skillful enough and manipulative enough to lead a 28-year-old down the road to go commit something like this. Oh, you deal with her? Send her to Sunday school? Me don't know people. Me don't know if I saw you solve the problem there. Our systems and structures where we have in the place for rehabilitate people. It can save her from herself. A girl that is inherently evil like that. You think it's a mistake evil as this? What kind of rehabilitation she can go through to ensure that she don't do something like this again? I'm not sure about that, people. Let me tell you one thing about me. It's a very simplistic philosophy. But you see me? Me don't believe the good for suffer for the bad, you know. And I also believe the bad for suffer for what them do. As long as it can be determined, so they knew what they were doing, and them faculties not disturbed, and they were able to decipher say what them are do wrong from what them are do right, them to suffer the consequences. Not as any kind of deterrent, you know, but as justice for the victim. Me always tell you, say, anytime you hear nobody talk about control measures for murder and serious crime, you never ever hear anybody talk about justice for the victim. As far as enough of them concerned, the victim is just a casualty of war. And it's unfortunate that the victim dead. No. Since them say it's not a deterrent and it's not going to stop crime, do it as justice for the victim and the family of the victim. Some of them evil. To them young, you feel them not evil. You have old evil and young evil. Evil are just evil. And to the man we got 6'6", him don't know if it's a young evil or an old evil reach him. In the moment when the man meet him demise. You hear me? Oh God. I drive and speak. Wickedness can't done. Wickedness cannot done. Maverick in the road.